comment on its legality, but you can comment on the fact that it is an unethical behavior to engage in for the junior doctors.
Yes.
And then what role do you then play as the Junior Doctors Association of South Africa in ensuring that such unethical behavior does not take place?
We have condemned that behavior publicly through Judasa channels and Sama channels. And we've also engaged with the National Department of Health and ICSP on a way forward. The repercussions of this activity are very bad, in the sense that it is possible from this moment on and the years to follow that there might not be a process for swapping of posts or allocations for applicants.
The repercussions that you're talking of now are future repercussions that do not bode or have any sort of implication on the actual doctor who's paid money for this. It has an implication for the process and how you choose to move forward, but it has no real implication for the unethical behavior that has been conducted. So is there a ramification on a personal or a professional level for those who are found to have engaged in this unethical behavior?
So far, the SAMA is engaging its legal powers. I'm told that the National Department of Health is also engaging its legal powers. Not sure what is going to come out of it. As far as we know, there's no actual evidence of this activity happening. We've seen the talk, we've seen the posts, we've seen the numbers that have been put down on the social media platforms, mainly Facebook and Telegram. But at the moment, as far as we know, is that legal advice is being undertaken.
Is that not evidence enough, though, Dr. Tlali, the fact that you're actually seeing the conversations, and it looks like the conversations are done quite in a very relaxed atmosphere with, no fear of any sort of repercussions. So the conversations are going on there. The deals are going on there. Is that not perhaps evidence enough for you?
It is for me. In the public court of law, in the public court, it's definitely evidence, and it's truly disgusting, for lack of a better word. But when we're dealing with legal matters, it has to be something that will take in court.
If you could, Dr. Tlali, maybe talk us through how this has impacted the standard and the quality of work in hospitals in rural areas, specifically now with the pandemic.
I can't really comment on that, because I know there was something similar that almost happened last year, but this is the first time this is happening, and there hasn't really been favoring of people going to certain places based on their wealth. But I would like to believe that our universities produce good quality doctors, and it shouldn't matter who goes where. It shouldn't matter who goes where, and that shouldn't affect the quality of doctors that go to rural areas. The issue with paying for posts is that it compromises the equity or the fairness in which that a person who comes from a less wealthy family going to a place which is more favored by the common person. We want it to be free and fair. Everyone must have the same opportunity to go to Gauteng. Everyone must have the same opportunity to go to the rural Eastern Cape.
So irrespective of whether or not you come from a financially stable background, there needs to be equal access. And I wonder, what is the current status regarding foreign students and their placements?
Foreign students, it's such a sad state of affairs for them. The Department of Health has already specified to us how they tier who they place first. So according to them, and they're basing it on the Immigration Act, that when placing applicants, they need to place all South Africans first. And once all South Africans have been placed, then they can place foreign nationals. But now the issue is that currently there aren't enough posts for South Africans to start with. So currently there's there's a number of South African interns and community service doctors who might not have a job come the 1st of January. That already places foreign nationals far at the bottom of the pecking order.
And so how do you then resolve that? Because obviously now there's the issue of unemployment, but there's also the issue of, as young doctors who've just qualified, not getting the requisite experience that is needed for you to be able to enter the formal job market in the future. How are you dealing with that? What type of interventions perhaps do you have in place or are proposing?
So in the past year, we've managed to create a working relationship with the Department of Health, where we bridge the gap between those doctors on the ground and the National Department of Health. We then try to liaise and make them understand the issue that's happening on the ground. Currently, the challenge is that there's, as with the rest of the country, and you were talking about SABC just now, you know, the public sector is downsizing its workforce because of the state of the economy. And so far, we have acknowledged that going forward, there's going to be a lot more doctors graduating from university without jobs to go into. And we are currently working on a number of campaigns to meet with the Treasury and the Department of Health, and hopefully the Minister of Health and the President at a later time, to make them aware of this problem, to make them aware that they're going to be doctors in this country, in a country where we increase the number of doctors going into medical students so that we can have more doctors in this country. These doctors will then graduate and not have jobs, which seems to be quite an expensive mistake.
I think we'll leave it at there for this afternoon, but thank you so much for your time and your input. That's Dr. Tshepile Tlali there. He is the acting chair for Junior Doctors Association of South Africa, highlighting the issue that is currently being experienced, money being paid for positions where interns, doctors would prefer to go to the bigger provinces like KwaZulu-Natal, the Western Cape, as well as Gauteng, instead of being posted in the rural areas. But also, you could hear there at the end him highlighting the effects of the cut in the public sector wage bill and how a reallocation of budget out of the health sector into other sectors like aviation, for example. We know a lot of money going into South African Airways. These, I guess, are part of the ripple effects of that, the fact that not enough money going to doctors for internships. What their fate will be remains to be seen, especially with the high unemployment rate that we continue to have in the country.